When it comes to the tool belt of the backyard barbecue pitmaster, or the professional pitmaster for that reason, one of the things I use every single day is a good probe thermometer. It's really the best way to know what your meat is doing while it's cooking. And if you're cooking pork or chicken or something like that, you really need to know that internal temp to make sure the meat is safe to eat. If you're cooking steaks, it's the best way to know if you're gonna hit that perfect medium rare. And a quality probe thermometer is really the best way to go about it. But more so than reading the internal temp of your meat, a probe thermometer comes in super handy for testing the tenderness of your meat, especially when cooking brisket, ribs, anything on the barbecue pit. Using that probe really gives you a good feel of how tender the meat is, if that membrane is rendered down, if the fat is nice and soft, and I use them every single day. For the last 10 years, I have had an Insta thermometer either in my apron, in my pocket, or hanging on the side of the table. I use them in most videos. So when Chefstemp reached out with their new thermometer, the Finaltouch X10, and offered to send me one to try out, I said sure, why not? So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. And this is it. I've had one of these for the last couple of weeks. You may have seen me using it in other videos. So I've really run this thing through the test, and I gotta say, I like it quite a bit. It works well. Ooh, hot day here today in Texas. This is the winner of the 2022 Red Dot Design Award, which is like the Oscars of product design, so that's pretty cool. It's got a 1-second read time on it too, so it's super fast. The world's fastest instant read thermometer. And one thing I really like about this one is that this probe goes all the way back. It's got a 270-degree rotation, which is something I didn't realize for the first 3 weeks of using this thing. But it's really convenient, because if you're cooking a lot of meat on an offset especially, you're gonna be probing at some pretty awkward angles, so having this full rotation really does come in handy. But other than that, it's pretty simple and it just works. You know, it turns off when you close the probe, it opens up, it's got a sensor on it for the backlight on this screen, so you're not wasting too much battery. Speaking of battery, this thing lasts forever. 3,000 hours of battery life, which is like 3 to 5 years of use, so you really don't ever have to worry about it. But also there's a few features about this one that I really like over other thermometers, which is just how to store it. You know, it's got this little hole on the back, so if you have a nail somewhere, you can hang it on that. But for me, my favorite thing is that there is a magnet built into the back. And that's something that's always bothered me about other thermometers. If you see the ones I usually use, I put a little pocket clip on the back, that way I can hang it in my apron or in my pocket, or sometimes you'll see them hanging on the edge of the table. And that's just because I don't want to have to be losing this thing deep in my pockets or throw it under the table. I need it to be readily available and ready at any given moment. And that's why I love the magnet on this thing, because I have a metal table, so I can just stick it right there. That's where it's been living for the last few weeks, and it's come in so handy, because I'll pull out a brisket and I just know exactly where it is, probe it, cook a steak, you name it. Love the magnet, very convenient. And like I mentioned, this is a tool and it just needs to work, and I've had no problems with this thing over the last month or so. You know, it just lives on the side of this table, I always know where it is, and it just seems to work. Reads temps really fast, I'm never gonna have to worry about the battery life. It's waterproof to a certain extent, which is amazing, so I know when I leave it on the side of this table, it can get rained on and be a-okay. Nice bright screen on there, and it's just not too complicated. There's no settings or buttons to worry about, it just works. And that's really what you need out of a thermometer. So if you're in the market for a quality probe thermometer, I think this is a great choice to consider. It's high quality, works well, I've had no problems, and I really don't have anything bad to say about it. And it's got a few little nifty features that a lot of thermometers don't have that may work really well for your setup. So I'll have a link in the description to where you can pick one of these up for yourself. I also have 2 right here that I'm gonna be giving away on my Patreon. So if you want a chance to win one of these, head over to my Patreon page. We'll have all the rules and details there. And a big thanks to Chefstemp for sponsoring this video and sending me this thermometer. I think it is now a permanent fixture of my Chud table. But that's gonna wrap it up for this gear review. Let me know in the comments below if you like these gear reviews and if there's anything else you want to see me review or talk about, because if you like this style of video, I will gladly do more. If you pick one of these up, be sure to tag me on Instagram. I love to see what y'all are probing your meats with. Big shout out to the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!